Hey guys, it's Yvette, author, speaker, and clarity coach over at declutterist.com. Come walk with me and Bailey. We're going for our evening stroll. It's always so nice to come out late and enjoy the evening air. But yeah, geez, what happened today? What can I fill you in on? I kind of woke up down, so I was pretty sad this morning. There was like this heaviness over me, and I couldn't pinpoint it until I started meditating on it, and then I kind of got to the root, or should I say roots of it. But yeah, pretty down and out until I got a call from my sister, who totally cheered me up. She's super bubbly, and she was just talking to me, filling me in, asking me a couple updates, and then told me such a sweet story about my niece, and it just lit me up. So the rest of the day was pretty good from that moment. But in the conversation with her, she mentioned she was on a social media break because of the way social media makes her feel. And she said something really powerful, which I know you've probably said, we've all probably said it, and it really ties into even last week's conversation, which is so funny, that Bailey wants to stop me for nothing. This is our workout, Bailey. Potties later. Just kidding, she already pottied. Yeah, so where was I? She said something that I'm sure we all thought about social media, maybe our struggle with it, and it's that how it makes her feel. It makes her feel like she needs to do more, be more, look more, better, and how many times does that happen to you? I mean, we talked about it last week. If you have not watched last week's Clarity Walk, please do so. What your social media feed says about you. And it ties into this nicely, this topic of like not being enough, right? Thinking you need to have more, do more, be more. In order to, I guess, feel validated, or to feel worthy of love and your place on the earth. Or to have fulfilled a purpose, right? At the end of purposeful work, we should feel that way, loved, enough, safe, abundant, plentiful, all those things should be there. In light of success at the end of accomplishing our purpose or feeling like our life had meaning, right? Those are really very much two sides of the same coin. And this topic of like social media and how it might be affecting you and making you feel bad about yourself is very true, We talked about the friends we have on our feed, and that's who we're seeing, who we're following is who we're seeing on a daily basis. And then from there, we follow more people, and we go down this rabbit hole of like, whoa, that's interesting, and who they tag, and then you start following the people they tag, and then you're interested about what they do, and then you go to their website, and it's just this click frenzy. But I guess all that to say, like, I think that life is this lesson of how enough we are. So when we feel like we're not enough, how that's the opposite of what we came to this world feeling, that we are enough. And then when we feel like we're not enough, we're really resisting that, the currency, the exchange of peace and wellness and perfection, all things that are inherent in us, we're kind of resisting that from flowing from us. Was that complicated or what? But life is the relationship with anything and everything. It's the relationship with yourself, first and foremost. It's the relationship with your spouse, your kids, your parents, your friends, It's the relationship with money, with possessions, things, stuff, I was gonna say clutter, and why it becomes clutter. And that is the reason why it's the relationship we have with anything and everything, is because it tests our enoughness. Us compared to them, us versus them, is in a way very much a comparison mindset. It's one of us has to have more than the other or be more than the other. So it's very much, that's the work, right? Us in relationships, that's our work. And whenever we feel that not enoughness creeping in, which is imposter syndrome, which is what we talked about a couple walks back, and also on the blog over at declutterist.com/blog, imposter syndrome, something very related to this topic, the root of this topic. That's why we feel that way. It's like we're an imposter, a fraud, because we came up against somebody who is those things, or who represents us, or who represents enoughness in that category of beauty, of money, of success, of fame, of minimalism, whatever. So they represent enoughness in that particular category, and it's you against them. So the more you can challenge these relational stereotypes or these relational beliefs that you have, that's the work we're here to do. Even our relationship with giving, and our relationship with philanthropy, charity, that kind of thing, that's also, how does it show up? Meaning, how do you feel in that particular category in relationship to that particular thing or person or place? What feelings does it come up for you, and how does it trigger your not enoughness? That's what you look at. I think we have to talk more about that a little bit more and explore that. But I guess in the meanwhile, the only thing really to work on this week or this weekend, as maybe you're going out with friends and family, or maybe just taking it easy, but it is Labor Day weekend, so I'm sure there's going to be some social gatherings involved for us Americans. Just look at, how does this relationship trigger your not enoughness? How can you recognize where you're telling yourself you're not enough in comparison to that counterpart of that relationship, you and this other thing, person, place? So yeah, just examine that. Like, whoa, that triggered me. I feel inadequate. I feel less than. I feel insecure about this in my life because I'm awakened to how it triggers my not enoughness. I'm awakened to this relationship and how it triggers my not enoughness. And in what way can you turn that relationship into an empowering exchange of like, whoa, thank you. Thanks for that awakening. It won't be my reckoning. It will be my opening and my chance for expansion and my chance to learn that, whoa, this is what I've been telling myself every time I'm with this person, every time I'm holding this thing, every time I'm in this cluttered space, every time I'm like staring at a blank paper on my computer screen trying to blog, every time I hang out with these sets of girlfriends, when we go out, just let that be a chance to say, oh wow, thank you for that. Thanks, universe. Thanks, God, for that awakening and that insight into myself, so that now I can kind of start to declutter what keeps me stuck there. Okay, this is a long one. Thanks for walking with me so long, guys. But yeah, definitely watch last week's and then go back a few weeks and watch the imposter syndrome and see how all this ties in. I think we'll be exploring this a little bit more on our walks because I just am obsessed with this topic of not enoughness and how enoughness is enlightenment. Just like clarity is enlightenment. Notice how when we're clear on these things about when we're triggered about not enoughness, how we're clear-headed. Woo! All right, All right, so Bailey's tugging at me. Let's give her some time. I will see you next week. If you guys like this Clarity Walk, click to share it with your friends. Double tap, give it a thumbs up, whatever you need to do. I'll see you next week. Peace.